Welcome back to the show. We are broadcasting live from Barcelona Mobile World Congress from VMware booth. And now I'm so privileged to have Sumit Dhawan, our president, the VMware president, to really share with us his thoughts, his ideas around the latest innovation and what is the challenges the industry is facing and how VMware is helping articulating the telco industry. So welcome, Sumit, to the show.
Well, great to be on.
Thank you. So always we are privileged to host you in our podcast. So we have our followers, our audience, and as you know, they are eager to know what is happening in Mobile World Congress 23. What's different?
Yeah, first of all, almost 90,000 people.
Wow.
High energy, and it feels like we are back to where we were pre-pandemic. So even though we see the same amount of energy, the same amount of people, there are some interesting differences that have happened in the conference, I feel. I remember being here at the conference maybe 5 years ago or something like that, and the conference was a lot more dominated by mobile. You were seeing maybe even more so, more mobility and enterprise mobility. And clearly that has happened already quite well, where digital and mobility has penetrated the enterprises quite well. While we see some of that in the show, what we see here now is the themes have changed in terms of the show is becoming more targeted towards how service providers themselves are becoming more and more technology providers, because the technology of network and cloud and edge are sort of coming together with our service providers, and clearly that's the theme of the show.
And also, I think Summit, what we used to call it now, the lines are blurred between the industries. So we have a lot of startups in the fintechs, financial organization also presenting in this forum, which is a clear assessment of that today the industry is changing.
Yeah, because mobile and mobile networks are becoming a key point, not just for connectivity, but offering all forms of services such as fintech. And so as a result, there is this convergence to connectivity or an extension of connectivity, which is a very interesting dilemma that the service providers are in. And I've spent so much time during the conference talking to some of our best customers, and they're all looking at how to modernize their own network and operate it as a cloud. How do they go take the edge and make it more open and extensible to bring new services? And how do they monetize the network? And those are the three things and the three themes of what our technology enables service providers to do.
Yeah, and Sumit, now, there are big talks. So if we now just do the buzzword of the Mobile World Congress, we can see there is a lot of talk about openness, open RAN, sustainability, ability to have a freedom, just to have the platform of connecting new players, that not only the NIPs that used to dominate in that space. So what's your take in the vibes as well of what's happening in the middle of the industry?
Yeah, I think there is a huge interest among the service providers on how do they modernize the network. That's the first foundational element of it. How do they run their network just like a cloud provider? They have to, whether they use it, whether they use their infrastructure in their own private data centers, or whether they use hyperscalers, public cloud to do so. Because by operating their own network in a modern fashion enables them to create new services as virtual functions faster. Okay, so that is a granted element. Secondly, RAN. Now, it is one thing about modernizing the network, the other thing about modernizing the RAN and making it open. And Open RAN is a theme of the show. It's early in the industry, and the providers understand that. We are providing a key technology. We have some early wins with our customers and partners like Dish, who started as Greenfield, or Vodafone, right? And we announced more sort of extensions of Vodafone as well in parts of Middle East, in Qatar in particular. So we are continuing to make incremental progress, knowing very well that Open RAN is early. There is lots of interest, lots of conversations with customers, lots of conversations with service providers, but they are looking for how they go from the current model, which may be inflexible and expensive, but to some extent arguably simple and fully integrated, to more open, flexible, maybe less expensive, yet comes at the potential change to a model that's not integrated. They have to integrate it.
And to this specific point, Summit, because we've been working with so many service providers in the region, and they use for the last 20, 30 years what we call it outsource that model to the NIPS or someone else.
That's right.
Now, what you're asking, or the industry, by having this openness, that they have to own that architecture, they have to own the integration, they have to own putting things together. So this is a change, and for them is not an easy change. What's your advice for them, for someone who really get into a lengthy way or process of outsourcing, and all of a sudden he needs to adapt to the new model?
Well, firstly, it's mindset.
Okay.
The first advice I would have is that if your mindset is there in terms of how you have to get to a destination, without an open mindset, an open RAN is very difficult.
They're
They're connected together. Yeah. I think secondly, putting together, just turning this integration into what's really needed, which is really certifications and operation. I think breaking the problem down into piece parts and then assembling the right structured mechanism with first order principles of solving it can help customers solve it easily, much easier for greenfield. And then for brownfield, taking a layer by layer approach. Okay. Open RAN has the benefit of adopting various layers, and start with the service management and orchestration layer, and which is SMO, and get towards over time adopting other layers of the Open RAN architectures rather than trying to do everything in one go. So have an open mind. Secondly, break the problem down, and then if you're greenfield or brownfield, take an appropriate approach to adopting it. Doesn't have to be all at one time.
Wow. So for the operators, you have to listen to Summit exactly in this specific, because I think these are proven that and it works.
It works.
And for the customers like what you mentioned, Dish or Vodafone's or others, they embrace it. They realize the benefits immediately, right?
Yes, and we have several other customers who are also approaching the problem that way. And those who are, you can tell, are actually accelerating in their decision making than those who are not.
Okay, so Sumit, ending up, definitely we need to end up with a green agenda. And I know today the world is living on an energy crisis, and also there is a way of optimization. And I think we are relying more and more in digital services and mobility and all 5G and all the promises they're going to bring so many. So what we are doing actually in enabling that sustainability, are we doing anything in that space?
Yeah, so first of all, I think there are two topics there. One is many and more digital services. If you think about the emergence of digital services, it's going to happen more and more at the edge. And monetizing the network beyond connectivity at the edge is a humongous opportunity for the service providers. So how, firstly, when you're bringing new services, how you do them at the edge and how you monetize that beyond connectivity is something that I believe we can partner with. We have done that with SD-WAN, which is an extension of connectivity. And during the show here, we are showcasing some very exciting, actually proven customer use cases where they are using our technology at the edge, whether they are police cars in the UK or farms that are using the technology for doing digital innovation. Now, why I started with that? Because, see, when you think about sustainability, sustainability comes in across multiple layers for service providers. Firstly, it comes in with how you operate your cloud. Okay, when customers use our technology for operating their cloud, they're using a platform that is inherently capable of using only the energy that's required and not having excess energy.
Wow.
Okay, so it's the foundation of our platform that enables the core of a telco platform. Okay. Second, when you're going towards the edge, that benefit carries forward with Open RAN. Open RAN extends the sustainability benefits of a virtual platform where you don't have unnecessary compute power
Spinning
running
without nothing.
use,
Yeah.
because you're a shared infrastructure that's virtualized. Okay, and third, we carry the same thing now into the highly inefficient use of OT and the edge.
Wow.
There's tons of technology that's sitting into manufacturing, farming, logistics, retail, and that's not running on an energy efficient platform like VMware. So that's one of the major benefit of edge computing. Edge computing that I believe is an amazing opportunity for service providers and our enterprise customers to get the benefits of sustainability, take connectivity as well as compute into a converged model that can work across traditional IT, but more importantly into OT, which is highly green and efficient.
Yeah. And Sumit, I think on this note, like and tell me, the industry is saying that the huge growth is going to be at the edge. And the ramification of impact, if we don't take care of it, is going to be huge
It's
to
gonna
our
be huge.
planet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about at this point in time, if we had not virtualized the data centers, okay, we would have actually probably been in a, we would have actually been 10 years to 20 years further in terms of power consumption
Wow.
for the data centers already. We do not want to get into that mode with edge.
Edge.
And edge is where new digital innovation is going to happen. That's where new demand for digital is coming from, and it's important that we get it started with a compute and network platform that's fully virtualized and taking the benefit of sustainability.
Wow. So thank you so much for this insight. I think for our, let's say, like listeners and the viewers, and also for the service providers and the ecosystem, which is the new ecosystem that's emerging out of this openness that we have. What is some final thoughts and address to the audience and to the team and to the industry?
Yeah, listen, I think our commitment to our customers is to help them innovate and go faster. And the innovation is coming through multiple channels, whether it's used to be traditionally bringing these more traditional applications, as we call them, fast in an x86 world in the private cloud. Now, the multitude of applications are coming in, whether it's traditional applications in a private cloud, modern applications in a public cloud, or next generation of digital innovation on the edge. And count on us, lean on us, consult us, have us as your partner as you go towards the innovation journey, just like you've done in the past for the data center. Now use us as your partner. We would love to be your partner for your multi-cloud and edge journey.
Thank you so much for being with us today.